Okay, so yesterday I had a class for Augusta Adult Education where I went over the gig economy. And I did have 3 students, and I do believe the class went well. But the students will just say that they were older than me, and one of the issues that came up was I just went over too much information, and I should have kept it more concise. And in my videos, I try to talk about the good and the bad and be balanced and not just talk about the positive aspects of the gig economy. But I think with new people, I need to keep it more positive because if you're talking about the gig economy for the first time, or if you're talking about any subject for the first time, if you say something negative about it, that might go into their brain and that might be the only thing that they can think about. So, with live performance or stand-up comedy or politics, if you say something unnecessarily negative and it becomes a brain worm inside of someone's head, we call that losing the room. So there were actually multiple occasions where I lost the room. They didn't really understand the terms that I was talking about, so I've got to define more terms when I'm talking about them and just keep things as simple as possible when I'm talking to someone that's not familiar with the gig economy. I've refined my class, and I'm going to try to do a dry run today and just go over the gig economy again. So, I'll start out with 16 tips for the gig economy. I've reduced this from 20. And the first tip is to download Waze or some kind of secondary navigation app. This can be a lifesaver if Google Maps has an issue. You can just, go into your secondary navigation, which is usually going to be Waze, and find the address. Delivering to the wrong address is the most common way to get a contract violation with Doordash or any other app. That's just a fact. So if you have a backup plan and you're always delivering to the right address, that can assure that you're able to work for these gig economy apps as long as you want. Tip number 2, get roadside assistance. If you have a problem while on the road, a flat tire, dead battery, this can be a lifesaver. Not that you don't want to have a battery pack or some way of inflating your tire, but if there's a major problem and you need help, this is the route to go. And if you have one flat tire a year or one dead battery, I think that roadside assistance basically pays for itself. Tip number 3, don't drive in bad weather unless you're equipped to do so. You want to have studded snow tires and fresh tread, and ideally a vehicle with all-wheel drive in order to deliver in deep snow or ice. If you don't have this, just stay off, the road for very bad weather. Now, obviously, we're going into spring. That's not going to be much of a concern, but hydroplaning will become a concern. So just be safe out there. Tip number 4, always use your navigation to assure that you're going to the right store or restaurant. You might have 7 Dunkin' Donuts in your city. Using the navigation when you're new just keeps it simple. Number 5, become familiar with store layouts, especially if you're doing a lot of grocery delivery, like Instacart and Spark. The more you're familiar with the store and the faster you can find items, the more deliveries you can do, the more money you can make, and you're going to be more efficient and less stressed. Because trying to find an item that you can't find and trying to find a substitution, it can become very time-consuming and stressful. Number 6, take advantage of any type of bonus pay you can. So sign-on bonuses, using referral links to sign up and getting sign-on bonuses, peak pay for Doordash, incentive bonus programs with Spark. Take advantage of any kind of bonus pay you can because it'll make you more profitable. Number 7, always communicate with the customer if you're unsure of their address, apartment unit, etc. Read and follow directions to have the highest rating possible. So, for example, if someone says, leave it at my door, hand it to me. You can't do both at the same time. Just, send the customer a quick text message and figure out what they want. Sorry, there's a siren in the background. I'm going to let that go by. Okay. It's most of the way by. But yeah, just communicate with the customer, or else, sirens will be blaring and you're not going to have a good rating. I don't know. My rating's 4.96 out of 5. My rating is very high. I'm very happy with it. But to keep it high, you've got to follow directions and use common sense. Okay. Number 8, consider the Crimson card to get automatic payouts for Doordash earnings and earn 2% cash back on gas, along with a discount on certain restaurants. In my zone, it's Pizza Hut, but it could be different where you live. So yeah, the Crimson card's great. You get those instant payouts. You get the money on the card right away. You can transfer that money to your bank account. It's fee-free. I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, and I'm not against direct deposit, but I like instant payouts. It's even more secure. Number 9, get the red card for shopping orders. This is for DoorDash. Basically, every gig economy app is going to have a purchase card. It's a purple card for Grubhub, green card for Instacart, black card for Uber Eats, kind of multicolored for Shipt. But basically, whatever gig economy app you're using, make sure you're able to shop. That way you can get more delivery opportunities. Number 10, diversification. Get every gig economy app you can. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Spark, Instacart, Roadie, Shipt, Grubhub. These are all examples. You don't have to sign up for all of them at once. You can sign up for one at a time. I think the rule of thumb is you start out with DoorDash, right? And then after a couple weeks have gone by, if you feel the work is right for you and all your documentation is done, your background check is done, and you're starting to get pay and it's hit your bank account, once that happens, then sign up for another app and then repeat the process. So yeah, you could take, a period of a year where you figure out all the gig economy apps that you want to work for. And you have to make sure that it's available in your area and this, that, and the other thing. But get every gig economy app you can, because more opportunities means more money. Number 11, work multiple DoorDash markets. This is just a good way of making more money and having more options. And obviously, you can do different markets for any gig economy app that you have, but working multiple DoorDash markets is key. Sometimes if you drive 10, 20 miles down the road, you can get better opportunities and better pay. And so it can be worth the gas to get to that market. Number 12, when you're starting out, do not shop for too many items in a single delivery. Wait until you are more familiar with the store and get faster at shopping. If you are unable to find a lot of items, or if the shop takes way too long, it can become stressful. So yeah, when starting out, I would avoid opportunities that say shop for like 40 items or more. I would keep it under 20. It depends on your familiarity with the store. If you know that store inside and out, it's not going to be as big of a concern. And at the end of the day, if you're shopping for more items, that's more efficient in terms of, using your vehicle, your time. And if you're shopping for more items, you're going to tend to get paid more money. If the offer is not for more money, even though it requires a lot of shopping, I wouldn't take it. Number 13, flexibility. Take advantage of the fact that the gig economy is flexible, that you can work as little or as much as you want, and that you can work basically any time you want. Now, yes, DoorDash will occasionally have what's called a gray map, which means that the button that says Dash Now will instead say Schedule, and you won't be able to log in and work, but you may be able to schedule for a later time. with that being said, the more diversified you are, and if you're, let's say, a platinum dasher, you're going to be able to work whenever you want. So this is not going to be as much of a concern. So the flexibility of the gig economy means that you can keep your day job and work. Let's say if you have a day off, or if you have a short day, you can do a couple hours of DoorDash, so you have a full days of work. So take advantage of the flexibility of gig economy apps. Number 14, cancel the order if it's too time consuming. So if you're waiting at the restaurant for a very long time, there's no end in sight, don't be afraid to cancel. But don't cancel too much, because you want to have a completion rate for DoorDash of 90% or more. I'm currently at 99%, so I have a bit of a buffer, and that's a good thing to have. Number 15, avoid shopping at stores with poor layout until you are faster at finding items. So this is not as much of a problem as it used to be. When Dollar Generals first opened, they were very chaotic. They're now much better organized. But if the store has a poor layout and you find that it's hard to find items there, it might be good to just put a pause until they get things organized. Number 16, over time, become more efficient in terms of the use of your vehicle and the environmental impact. So batching delivery orders, filling up your car with as many groceries as possible. Basically trying to get more bang out of your buck. This is actually a good way to protect the environment. Also, making sure that your tires are properly inflated so you reduce fuel consumption. This is not only going to make you more profitable, it's also going to reduce your environmental impact, and it's going to reduce tire wear. So reducing your environmental impact is important. How to avoid gig economy deactivations. This is another very important thing that you should learn before you even start signing up. Be sure to read the terms and conditions of your independent contractor agreement thoroughly so you can know what constitutes a contract violation. So your independent contractor agreement, it's going to be a long document. You're probably not going to want to read the whole thing in one sitting. It's just going to be too boring. And you're not going to have the attention span to read from the top to the bottom. But read what you can, go over it. Watch YouTube videos that go over the independent contractor agreement. Watch, various gig tubers that talk about the independent contractor agreement and know what the terms and conditions are. Know what constitutes a contract violation. Basically, know what's going to possibly get you fired before you even start working. Okay? Always deliver to the right address. As I mentioned before, this is the most common reason for a contract violation. Make sure you're delivering to the right address. If you are a younger person, and you live stream your dashes on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, make sure that personal information of customers is not displayed. And if you post on YouTube your dashes for the day, blur out faces, license plates, addresses, phone numbers, names, anything that can identify a customer. You're not allowed to disseminate personal information online when you're doing your dashes. That is a contract violation. So respect people's privacy at all times. As mentioned above, do not cancel too many orders. Keep your DoorDash completion rate above 90%. Uber Eats is 80%. With these tips in mind, you should be able to avoid deactivation. Okay, so those are the tips. Avoiding deactivation, essential things that you need to know if you've started in the gig economy or if you haven't started yet. Now we're going to get into the apps, the money makers. Number 1, DoorDash. This app has the most delivery opportunities. It is the most accessible. The background check is usually only 1 day, so you can get started with DoorDash very quickly. I would say having an acceptance rate at or below 75% is a good idea. This is to assure that you're as profitable as possible. Number 2, Spark, which is delivering for Walmart. This app has great pay, especially from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., so early evening. Walmart also has many bonus pay incentive programs. So if you make qualified deliveries, you can make extra money at the end of the day, and this can assure that you're as profitable as possible. Number 3, Instacart. It is purely grocery delivery, and I do believe it will peak sooner in the afternoon than Spark. So Instacart is basically any grocery store other than Target and Walmart. So in my area, it'd be Hannaford and Shaw's, and other various stores are in the Instacart platform. Number 4, before I move on, Instacart is a great app to run in the background because it doesn't keep track of your acceptance rate like Doordash. So you can just run in the background, and if you want to take the opportunities, you can, and if you don't have to. Number 4, Uber Eats. This app has occasional high-paying opportunities, but it's not as reliable to get opportunities because it's lower volume. It's just not as commonly used as DoorDash. Now, it's still a good filler app because if DoorDash isn't busy or if it's too late in the evening for grocery delivery, Uber Eats could be a good way to get income. Number 5, Roadie. This app is for delivering for home construction primarily. It is an excellent filler app because of prescription drug delivery, which is highly profitable. And other apps for you to consider: Grubhub, Point Pickup, and SendPex. Non-driving and semi-passive income side hustles. The first one we're going to talk about is Field Agent. This app allows you to make money from mystery shopping and field audits at various stores and grocery stores. It doesn't require deliveries, so less miles will be driven. And if a store is within walking distance, you can get away with not driving at all. Even if you do have to drive to do mystery shops, you can do it on the way to your destination or on the way back. So you're making extra money without increasing your mileage. Field Agent is probably the best and has the most opportunities. Number 2, Bestmark. It is a browser login, not an app that you download. You will receive opportunities for mystery shops in your email. It is similar to Field Agent, and that is mystery shops and field audits. So it's a good way to diversify your mystery shopping. And I actually did Bestmark before the pandemic. I thought it was great. I got, free oil changes and free food at restaurants. Number 3, Tutor.com. You will need a degree or some kind of specialized knowledge in order to qualify, but Tutor.com is a great opportunity to make money at home. The profitability would be very high because you're making that money at home. You're not having to drive to make the money. So Tutor.com. Number 4, Respondent Survey. Respondent Survey does pay well if you do qualify for the market research surveys. So it's good to give it a try. Number 5, User Testing. But it does give you more opportunities to find work at home. And this app is readily available on the Google Play Store. Number 6, Carvertise. This app allows you to make money semi-passively by attaching an ad to your vehicle. So I did have a question. Is it like the whole vehicle? Is it part of the vehicle? There are different campaigns. Sometimes it'll be just the doors. Sometimes it'll be the entire vehicle. So it just depends on what you want and what's available in your area. Number 7 and 8 are Rapify and mobile ads. They are functionally the same as Carvertise, but they have slightly higher payouts. So these apps, Carvertise, Rapify, and mobile ads, they will allow you to double dip. You can make money doing DoorDash, and you're semi-passively making money off the ad. So pay for ad campaigns does vary. Although generally speaking, I'd say Carvertise is $100 to $150 a month, and Rapify and mobile ads is $200 to $300 a month. It will allow you to make a lot extra. So that is my spiel on the gig economy. This is a lot, but again, as I mentioned before, I would just start out with one app like DoorDash or Spark, sign up, see if it works for you. See if that work is compatible with you, and if you make good money, and if you enjoy it, and if you hate your 9 to 5, then you can sign up for more apps and then eventually switch over to the gig economy. But let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And thank you for listening. Again, this was a dry run of my gig economy class 2.0. I hope to do this at the local library or with Augusta Adult Education again. So, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.